Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 3. Welcome to WCA European Qualifier Group C. We have 2 Night Elves. We have an Undead so far in the playoffs. No Night Elf. Okay, there is TheMask in this group, but the favorites are, of course, 2 other Undeads and an Orc. The participants today, Orc Worker, Hate Love Anger, Cechi, and the big underdog in this qualifier, TheMask.
And TheMask will be tested first today. His match against Cechi will be starting in about 5 minutes. Or maybe now, I don't know. Hopefully not in 2 hours like yesterday, where we had some technical difficulties. But I think everything should be in order and should be sorted out this time. We had yesterday a big upset with Rudan dropping out and Juan advancing. Today we have 3 favorites: Cechi, Orc Worker, and HLA. Do we say that they're all the same strength currently? That they're all on the same level? I think you see one specific Orc player higher than the other 2.
Yes, I would rate Orc Worker definitely high up in the ranks. Maybe even a top favorite for, not a top favorite, but amongst the top favorites in this entire qualifier, together with War Chief, Sonic, and Hawk, in my opinion. Well, never count out yours, obviously, but, you know, Orc Worker's improvement in the last year is very significant, in my opinion, and he has a decent chance. Last year in the Open qualifier, he ended up 3rd already, right after Sonic and Hawk, and just barely missed the qualification to the World Championships, and maybe this time it's his time. With Orc, we saw an amazing Orc play today of Lin, so it looks like Orc doesn't really have a bad matchup if you're prepared for that, and I think this guy practiced his ass off to participate in the World Championships this year.
Yeah, he has quite a few ladder accounts and plays a lot on them. Really determined player, and I agree with you. He has improved a lot. I think, though, that he is a guy who really sticks to the standard and tries to be best against the standard. So when he faces different strategies where he has to adapt, I feel that that is where he is running into some issues every now and then. And of course, HLA, the prime player to be pulling out the weird strategies.
Okay, of course, that is the Orc in this group, Cechi. He wasn't supposed to be here. He was the replacement for Happy, who dropped out, who was invited originally, but he dropped out because he's not allowed to stream his games, because there's only 2 streams, it's us and Haveline on the Russian side. So he said, okay, if I'm not allowed, then search someone else. And the replacement is Cechi. In the Open qualifier, he dropped out against Thomas G, who we saw on Thursday in Group A, and he didn't do too good, I would say. So what's Cechi's current state? We all know his talent is undoubtable. His micro is superb. But what can he bring to the table today?
Yeah, we've been talking about this yesterday, I think, already, in anticipation of today. I haven't seen Cechi play his best in a while, and of course he's not practicing much Warcraft nowadays. He also practices quite a bit of Dota. He has a Dota team where he plays, and you say that he's a very talented player, and I agree, but maybe he is someone who needs a little bit more practice to be on top level again, at least a little bit more practice. Because seriously, like especially in the Open qualifier against Thomas G, he dropped out. That wasn't supposed to happen. Well, it was best of 1, right?
Yeah.
So I guess anything can happen in a best of 1. But still, his performance, I was not too impressed. I've seen him way better before. He has to step up his game significantly if he wants to get out of this, well, top 2, I guess. But top 2 is a very high goal to go for anyways. Getting out of this group, though, I think is... he's not going to be too favored against Orc Worker, but he's really strong in Undead Mirror.
Exactly.
Cechi is extremely strong in Undead Mirror. So if this should work out in the way that HLA wins his game against Orc Worker and Cechi wins his against TheMask, which is to be expected, honestly, then he may have a good chance. And everyone's kind of counting out TheMask, but I hope that he is going to be able to show us more than we're expecting.
Yeah, let's talk about TheMask real after the introduction of Cechi. Daniel Czechmanek from the Czech Republic, 21 years old. Apparently, I thought he's older, but his Skype says he's born in 95. Maybe he faked his age to appear a little older. I don't know.
But we were in Yinchuan 2014, and then he said he was 19, so that makes sense.
Okay, then he is really 21. That makes him the youngest player in this tournament, and yeah, this is him with his Dota team there on the picture. He looks very matured compared to a few years ago when we met him. His biggest achievement was probably the 4th place in WEL in the big tournament with some Chinese and Koreans there. He was a participant in WCA 2014, dropped out unfortunately in the group stage. WCA Pro Qualifier 2015, he dropped to War Chief Ridge. It was a 2-0, but it were amazing games. Wasn't able to qualify through the open qualifier. Won Jera Cup semi-final, not too much his recent accomplishments though. Semi-final in Jera Cup 70, quarter-final in Jera Cup 72 and 73. For an undead, very good tournament stats in the current metagame. So this is TheMask, not sending us a photo, hiding behind his nickname. Anton Berechkov, 24 years old from the Belarus. His biggest achievement was the Jera Cup quarterfinal. He just appeared out of nowhere, making it into one quarterfinal of Jera Cup and making it through the open qualifier as a big surprise. His recent accomplishments, not too great. Round of 64, round of 32, round of 64. And in that Jera Cup quarterfinal that he reached, he got a def win by War Chief Ridge, who beat him earlier. So it wasn't really on his point. But we have to go in-game because it is Turtle Rock once again. And Remo, we saw this yesterday. Exact same starting positions. Close position.
Rudan versus Juan yesterday, and this game did not turn out well for Rudan. And again, I have to question the Knight of Choice here. Why does he leave in Turtle Rock? What else did he get rid of? Twisted Meadows maybe, and something else that he doesn't feel comfortable with. But now he has a bad map, a very bad map to be honest, and he has the worst starting position. So right out the gate, very unfortunate start for the underdog.
TheMask vetoed Last Refuge, which seems to be common nowadays, and Nomad Isles. So that leaves...
Really weird.
It's the exact same pick that Rudin did yesterday against Wan in the losers bracket final. So yeah, that leaves Turtle Rock, and that is an amazing map for Undead. As you mentioned, ghoul creeping, so easy with the turtles here. And that of course gives him the opportunity to get big consumables on the back of the turtle. So we'll see. Will TheMask handle it better than Rudin yesterday? Wan's performance was outstanding in my opinion, but TheMask, man. The games I saw from him weren't too impressive, but was he hiding tactics? Was he hiding his skills? He goes for immolation first immediate surround, but this is unusual right from the start.
And these ghouls are standing on Blight, so they get quite a bit more hit points. And also, there's a coil because there's immolation, because there's no mana burn. This Demon Hunter is surrounded and dies to the coil. He doesn't use the TP. What?
And he didn't kill a single ghoul.
What was that, man? What was that?
This is definitely a really weird opening to day 3.
To be honest, this was really bad. You're not supposed to bash players when there's something happening maybe you're not seeing. But this was really bad. He ran into the base, into 4 ghouls, into a surround where Nerub Tower was going to be finishing in a second. He lost his first hero. TheMask, we were questioning if he belongs here. I'm sorry to say, but right now doesn't look like it.
Cechi almost level 2 after this little hatchling. He will have the aura. Went for coil, of course, because there is no mana burn right from the start. Now it's going to be so hard for TheMask to find his levels. We all know Cechi is very depending on his mindset. Is he confident in those games? Usually versus Night Elf, he seemed to have no answer in the late game, but if he has a start like this in games versus TheMask, where he maybe destroys him if this continues like that, he steals this one. So once again, only 12 experience on the Demon Hunter here. This could be the ideal start for a guy like Cechi into this tournament. The ghouls are going ham on the archers.
And again, here we see the emulation. Of course, he's still only level 1, still only has that single skill point. This means there's going to be one more coil ready for the DK in a second. Does he want to go for the Demon Hunter surround again? There's quite a few archers on the battlefield, 3 to be precise. So he might be able to shoot himself out of a surround. And still has the TP as well. The Slippers of Agility, a decent drop for him. But after finishing the camp, he only got one of the last hits. 20 experience from the little turtle, 12 experience from one single skeleton. He's sitting at 32. And tier 2 is soon to be reached by the undead.
Yeah, he didn't forget about his graveyard, so fiends will be coming in a second. Everything is hidden, but reveal being used. Dust of Appearance, of course, in the inventory. Cechi, by the way, selling his town portal to get more resources. And now, yeah, 4 archers it is. Can he get us around? He gets this around, the second in this game. And this is more slaughter towards the Night Elf. What is the plan B for the Mask? Looked like he had a game plan with the immediate harass with the Demon Hunter that failed heavily. So he needs his mana burn, but he's still chasing the units here, and he walks into a surround again for the second time. There's still a town port, and he opens it up because he doesn't want to lose so much hit points on his ghouls.
And one ghoul is actually not gonna fall as he goes for another surround onto another archer, but DK doesn't want to lose that one. Very close to death, actually. Gets another archer, however, for his troubles. Might possibly be losing a ghoul. But even if he does, this is a fantastic early game. DK is level 2.5, even more than that. And the Demon Hunter is still 32 experience. So far this game, the Mask is completely outmatched by Cechi. Tier 3 started right away, not wasting any time. And the Tier 3 timing is of course what we're expecting in this matchup. And it's going to be so swift, and the Demon Hunter most likely is going to be so unequipped to deal with it.
Yeah, the Mask needs something right now. And that is of course always the battle call for the Naga. If you want to pressure immediately, or if you think I have to defend with something, then you go for the Naga as well. The Panda needs levels, and he will not have the time to find those levels. Demon Hunter is trying to find Cechi, once again going for the immolation, most likely. Steal some creeps maybe, but he doesn't find him. Some kind of immolation creeping, but he doesn't really creep. Naga second by Cechi as well, the usual hero in this matchup. So Cechi is not going for the turtles on the back yet. He knows that the Mask is around, doesn't want to risk anything here.
And here's gonna be the next engagement. The Demon Hunter bought Boots of Speed and a Circle of Nobility. That was a lot of resources, makes him a lot stronger though as well. And there's Boots of Speed as well on the Naga, so she's very fast for Cechi the Naga, that is. That means that she will not be hunted down by the Demon Hunter too easily.
Can he get the opposing Naga? No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe a Frost Arrow now. But usually when 2 Nagas meet, one of them will be dead. Cechi is losing quite a lot of HP here. Another Frost Arrow, but she can go to the shop, get the potion, the resources are there, and I think the statues for healing are coming in as well. Oh, trying to go for the surround of the Naga of the Mask, but his own Naga is stuck in the base, can't add the slow arrow. Oh, but there is the surround.
Oh,
yep,
Jesus
Cechi.
Christ. He hasn't lost a single unit this game, man. And he's level 3.
That's true. Level 3 versus level 1.
The Mask got 1 creep and 1 skeleton this game.
Yeah. He got his Hunter Soul up. There is the revive of the Naga, obviously. Ancient of Lore is what he wants to go for. Dryads to slow down the undead, at least to a degree, to have Dispel against the skeletons. The Ancient of War is helping, so a few more experience points for the Night Elf hero. But the Lich will be coming. Tier 3 is ready, and then of course the Orb of Corruption hits, the Frenzy upgrade hits, and the Destroyer upgrade hits. We saw it yesterday, Wan's performances versus Rudin. You saw how strong this can be. And what can the Mask throw against him? His tech, very late.
Yeah, I don't know. He wants to go for the gold mine, but at this stage in the game, he's so afraid, and I don't blame him. He has suffered so many losses this game.
Cechi has still 9 ghouls available. That is so much. Demon Hunter is coming back in. I think the thinking of immolation to do just something else is pretty nice. Sonic does it from time to time as well. But yeah, he didn't succeed with anything. Just loses his Demon Hunter here. And here comes the creep jack.
Oh, he gets it as well. The next coil steals the next big creep. Level up for the Naga. Finds another kill on another archer. The Ancient of War might even be falling here. TheMask gets a little more experience. I guess he finds a good item. Okay. He got the greater healing, finally catching a bit of a break.
Cechi has a 20 food advantage. Well, that means he doesn't have supply free for a morphed destroyer. The upgrade is coming. Lich in production as well. And the Undead is getting ready for the push. Not even waiting for the Naga here, for the Lich here. Orb of Corruption already in the inventory of the Death Knight, of course. Can be swapped to a Naga, but double Orb doesn't really work in Warcraft 3. It does in Dota, I think, but not in Warcraft. So the Death Knight gets the Orb for the minus armor, at least for now. Master upgrade is coming though. TheMask reached tier 3. And yeah, a lot of people were hoping for an upset here, for a new breakout star in this qualifier. Looks like it is not TheMask, but maybe with an intense fight and with an insane fight, he can turn this, but it looks pitch black for the Belarus player.
Third hero Lich now hitting the field, and when that is the same hero levels as the Demon Hunter, that is usually bad news. The Bear's being caught out of position as well. First one dies immediately. Rejuvenation will not be enough to save him. The Lich not yet in the group, but still the ghouls dealing a lot of damage. One of them has only fallen. The Naga in trouble as well. The Nova hitting, and the ghouls finishing the job. Only 2 Dryads remaining. And a single Demon Hunter on level 1. Speaking of which, he's surrounded. He has a TP though. Is he gonna use it? Does not use it. Uses the heal potion instead, but he's dropping lower and lower. And now he's gonna fall again without using the TP. At least he got level 2 towards the end, but man.
What a stomp!
That was a ruffle stomp.
It was to be expected that Cechi is the big favorite here. It was to be expected that Cechi might win this series, but was it to be expected that it was so dominant?
No. Nope. That could have been a ladder game against a 1-0 account. Sorry, TheMask, but that was not good enough. If you want to win a single map, you have to play better than this in this qualifier.
Yeah, you know, it's his first big tournament apart from Jera Cup, so I think it's only natural to be a little nervous, maybe to be a little shaky.
Yeah, I think he was nervous.
Yeah,
I think
same can be said for FESP maybe yesterday.
I think he saw the spawning positions and he was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, you're under pressure like immediately. This is your first tournament. Yeah. You're pressuring yourself already, and then you see the spawning positions, and you have the pressure of the Undead right in your face. It is so hard to deal with on a psychological level.
I think he saw the close position and was like, crap, I basically can't creep. What do I do? Alright, and you get some kind of advantage. What can I do right now at the moment? And maybe you thought I have to kill Acolytes with Immolation. But there was the ghouls around right away, and then the hero kill right away, so everything went down the shitter. Alright, next map, Amazonia. Gonna be an entirely different story. In the early game, he's gonna have level 2 immediately. And getting towards level 3 is not going to be too easy, but a lot easier than it is on Turtle Rock. And I imagine he's going to be able to show a better performance here. Speaking of Cechi, you already mentioned his mindset in the last game. And this is pretty good for him, I think. Getting into an easy first win, starting to build some momentum, have the wind in his sails, you know, and feel the flow and have a good start. Seems like Cechi needs that if he wants to have a good day. And yeah, so far everything working fine for the Undead.
Yeah, we were talking about Cechi's chances once he reaches the winner bracket final. His opponent is either going to be Orc Worker or Hail of Anger. I think he would prefer Hail of Anger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and since his Undead Mirror is really, really good, thanks to his micro.
Thing is though, Hail of Anger, I talked with him a bit before the qualifier started, and he said that he's actually feeling really confident against Orc Worker, Hail of Anger is, but really doesn't want to face off against Cechi. But of course, most likely that's going to be the case if he's going to be in the upper bracket. And from what I've heard, it's not going to be too unlikely that HLA will be playing Night Elves instead of Undead.
Ooh.
And there's nothing in the rules against this, so
true.
You can do that.
Can pick whatever you want. Maybe also depending on maps, and then of course, it is very hard to veto maps as well, if you don't know what your opponent is playing.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But when you pick Night Elf the first map, you have to pick it the entire series. I think that's in the rules.
Okay. I don't know about this, but yeah, let's focus on Cechi versus TheMask. Game number 2, you mentioned it, Amazonia, is a little easier for the Night Elf. This is where the Night Elves feel home. This is where especially War Chief Rich calls his playground. How good is TheMask on this? Pretty interesting, by the way. He played in the beginning stages of Jera Cup, like Jera Cup 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There he was already playing in these competitions. Never made it big, like round of 64, round of 32. And then all of a sudden, before the WCA qualifiers arrived, he started playing again. So, yeah, and he made it through the open qualifier. This is already a big accomplishment for him, definitely. Time to show his strength, but so far wasn't possible.
Yeah, I hope he's going to be able to bring a better showing to the table. I think it is, though. That was map number 1 in the big tournament. As you say, nerves are always an issue there. And this should be the map for him to do it on. Do we know what the last map is, by the way, if TheMask should win it?
Yes, it's gonna be Twisted.
Okay, also possibly a bit of a better undead map, but that is far away. Let's focus on this game. Very standard Demon Hunter quickly on the Night Elf side of things, and the DK a little bit delayed. This most likely means that he's going to be immediately creeping to level 2 and teching very quickly as well. And that makes sense because you can't really run across the map to be aggressive right away. The Night Elf is going to be level 2 regardless of what you do. Can't really do anything about this, and that's the beauty of Amazonia for Night Elves early on, and why so many Night Elves like playing on it. Question is, how aggressive is the Demon Hunter gonna be? Is he gonna try to pressure himself now? Maybe again with Immolation? Is that a good idea? Well, it didn't work out the first time, but doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's a bad idea. Or is he gonna try to look for the level 3, the more traditional way of playing this?
Yeah, that would be the War Chief approach, I think, in general. Circle of Mobility, nice start for him. What's Cechi gonna do? He assembles his ghouls already. He has the resources for the tech, so he can go creeping. And this is, I think, on Amazonia, the right call to go for level 2 as well. Very early on, Renegade Wizard. It's very easy to take. You get an item, you get a ton of experience from this one. Almost level 2. Here comes a Wisp though, scouting this, so he sees, alright, the Death Knight gives me some time, and I can continue to do what I want to do, but he is walking right over, as it seems.
Alright, he's gonna try to do as much as he can here to res.
Okay.
He's gonna go for the trolls, it looks like. Oh yeah, does the little troll trick. He approaches with the archer and runs away with the archer. That way, the two little guys wanna ensnare her, or at least one of them. And so the Demon Hunter takes a little bit less damage. That's a nice little trick here you can do if you want to optimize your creeping. DK hitting level 2 right now, knows basically where the Demon Hunter is, who has hit level 2.4. And here comes the aggression. How many ghouls do we have here? 4, 5, 6. That's quite a bit of damage potential. Would love to get some archer surrounds, wisp kills. If the Demon Hunter is out of position, also a Demon Hunter surround. And here we go.
Yeah, so far he didn't really find the surface to attack. The Engine of War was kind of low. Can he get the Archer? Looks good. Yep, surrounding skills on point. We have the mana burn a little late to the party here. There was a 1 coil and there's 2 more currently. So the first kill for Cechi in this game once again. As I mentioned, the Engine of War is pretty damn hurt, but he walks right into the arms of the ghouls. Can he close it once again? New ghouls are coming in. Cechi, okay, he does not want to end it here, but this is definitely Archer number 2. Dust has been used. Coil saves the ghoul. So far, once again, everything in order for Cechi. Oh. And he walks almost into the surround, but nope, escapes just barely. We got 2 archers lost.
And still most of the ghouls pretty healthy. Slowly they're dropping low, but they're being sent back to the base. There's no boots of speed on the Demon Hunter, so you can't easily chase them down. And now the first Moonwell might be in trouble. Wisps have to come out for repair. Lots of wisps, in fact. This is also very expensive in terms of lumber. 1 ghoul might be finally falling. No, but 1 archer being saved as well. And the Moonwell, it will not be enough. The Moonwell falls, repair is not enough to save it, and all of the ghouls have been saved so far. Again, fantastic early game for the Czech player.
Indeed, 180 gold gone for the Night Elf here. He's not supply stuck, but still he needs the healing usually, and his Huntress Hall has been forgotten through this attack. Nice timing by Cechi. Of course, if you place the Huntress Hall right in front of a group of ghouls and Death Knight, he will cancel it immediately, so maybe he didn't forget about it, but just was forced to put it out later. That delays his tech to Dryads and Bears significantly. On the other side, everything is set in stone for Cechi, and he wants to go for the surround. Of course, the Unholy Aura helps. There's no boots for the demon, but he tricks him into the wrong direction, and so surround is not possible anymore. Immediate tier 3 tech once again for the Undead.
But this heavy ghoul commitment did cost a lot of lumber. We can see he is on tier 3, or he's getting to tier 3, but he's very low on lumber right now. He needs 100 lumber, maybe even more if he goes for the tavern for the second hero. And the slaughterhouse also 130 lumber or something like that. The Naga once more, the choice for the mask. DK almost level 3 already. If he just takes the little Murlocs outside his main, he will have the level 2 coil available. And what is the mask doing? He's got still 4 archers remaining, so he reproduced quite a few of them. And in his main, Ancients of Lore, only now coming up, his tier 3 is gonna be so much later.
Indeed. On the other side, Cechi not going for the Naga second this time. It is the Lich, pointing towards a little more passive game than usual, or than on the last map, obviously, since it's not total rock close position. There's the slaughterhouse that we were waiting for, even in a Rubian tower. So Cechi might be thinking better safe than sorry, but surround opportunity not working.
Players' forces are under attack.
Almost level 3 on the Death Knight. This is perfect, perfect preparation for the big push to come. The Fiends are arriving. The tier 3 tech for the Mask has been started, as well as the shop. So maybe with a little staff micro, he can. Oh, with a Nova, maybe another round. Nope. What was I about to say? Maybe with staffs, he can save a few units more.
But the tier 3 timing is swiftly approaching. Slaughterhouse a little late, so it's not going to be too many destroyers. Nova surround, he gets hit, but he opens it again. Fortunate break here for the Mask. DK now a little bit low. The Lich needs to join the party here. Oh, the Death Knight, man, dropping very low on HP indeed. But the next Nova connecting on all of the archers. Except one, I guess. The Lich now, though, in trouble. There's no coil to save him. He might be falling, but I don't think the Naga can catch up, as there are no boots of speed on her. So I guess the Lich is fine. And now another surround opportunity, possibly, with these ghouls here. With only the heroes remaining. The Naga, is she gonna be trapped? Yes, she is. And there's no way out of this.
He used the coil on the ghoul to save, to keep him alive. Naga down, but Cechi has to be careful about his Death Knight. Level up saves him for now, but there are two Dryads now. Oh.
He skilled Death Pact in the perfect opportunity. Oh, pretty sweet move there, but the Lich might still be falling. There's the slow and the Wisp as well
coil
to block.
Coming in one. Here we go. There's the coil, and he saves his Lich.
Trying to go for the Dryad surround as well, and he gets it as well. How many surrounds have we seen this series? Seems like the Undeads are really stepping up the surround game in this qualifier.
Indeed, Wyan Gaston, man. I'm not able to count as high as the number of surrounds that we saw from him. And Cechi not far away from the surrounding game of Wan yesterday. Tier 3 almost finished for the Mask. We see Frenzy already. The Lich will get his orb. So important that the Lich stayed alive. But to save his Death Knight, he used the 3rd skill point, and that means coil only level 1.
Yep, that's true. Might not be too crucial though, because usually you don't really get off more than 2 coils maximum in a fight anyways, because of course mana burn. But now the Naga will be joining the army of the Undead. Lich already a level 2. And I heard another level up somewhere. Level 2 for the Naga as well.
Cechi playing this without a Naga as it seems. Okay, now she's going. He's going for it. No destroyer upgrade, if I saw this correctly. There it is. A little late in my opinion. Was he? Okay, he was short on gold, so that can happen. The Mask on the other side grabbed this big natural expansion invul potion. That is very nice. But here comes a big power spike from the Undead. Naga is new on the battlefield. He has the Orb of Corruption and the ghouls. You saw the surrounds. Opportunity to go for the Naga again. Doesn't even need to surround her, just finishing her off with ease. And the town portal will save some units, yes, but he's once again far, far behind.
31 supply. 38 now as he reproduces the Naga. Doesn't even have the Moonwells necessary to get up to 50, and that is where Cechi is basically sitting. 46 for the Czech player with a magnificent lead, feeling so confident that right now he's walking into the Moonwells, is gonna fight into the Moonwells as well. Level 3 for the Demon. This is a big deal. Anti-magic on him is going to be running out soonish, though. There's still no Destroyer upgrade. It's going to take a few more seconds, but he's going to have it in just a moment.
Yeah, there it is. Destroyer upgrade is finished. He morphs the Destro immediately, soaking up with mana to get rid of the bears in combination with the orb, obviously. He's trying to find a nice angle to attack here, and of course, without the Moonwell, there is a bigger area to attack, and that's why this is okay, that is gone. Now the Mask supply stack, and that is horrible. No anti-magic shell anymore, no Naga for him. Will be rejoining the fray in just a few seconds. Ghouls are doing nice damage. The bears are taking care of the Naga, but that's not where they should be, I guess.
The Demon Hunter in trouble, in focus, but he's next to the shop. He can buy the Potion of Healing, and he did so, but it's on cooldown. The bears now coming into focus as well, and he's gonna lose the first one to the Nova in the focus. There is the Naga almost walking into the round again. It will be transferred. Now the Demon Hunter might be in trouble, has to eat the potion again. Destroyer, though, has been killed by the Dryads in the meantime. Speaking of which, one of them might be falling, and so might the Demon Hunter. The Nova not there just yet, despite eating one of the ghouls. The Forked Lightning onto said ghouls, getting them low, but the statue still providing so much healing, and the last bear will be falling as well. Possibly should be doing it.
Frostborn really likes his Dryad flesh at the moment. The bears, the bear stays alive. That's so important because he can't reproduce them. But the Naga really likes the shallowness of the grave. Or the Demon Hunter will follow, I think. Oh, there's no nuke at the moment, but he gets rid of the bear. The Tree of Eternity is trying his best to defend this as well. But what's he gonna do? Only the Demon Hunter remaining, basically, with a Dryad attached. And this, here comes the Nova, and yep, the mighty...
Oh, the Wisps!
Nice!
Nice block!
But the Lich and the Naga, man, the ranged units, they can't do it. At least a little show off from the Mask. Cechi advancing to the winner bracket final.
That was
very quick, very easy. Second map was better for the Mask, though.
It was better. I mean, doesn't really get worse than raw close positions. But yeah, it clearly shown through that he is the inferior player here, unfortunately, which is what many people were expecting. So Cechi moves on to the upper bracket final. This was kind of clear already, but now this is where the really interesting game comes. This is the one the two of us have been looking forward to the most out of all of the round 1 games. It's going to be HLA versus Orc Worker. I don't know if we're going to be starting soon